Hello YouTube, this is Royal Mix Gaming, and today we're going to go over the best archer pairs in Rise of Kingdoms. And all these marches are either going to be really good for damage, AoE, or just they pair really well together, and they're really well for utility reasons. I'm only going to list a couple different pairs because I really don't think bringing 5 marches of archers is probably the best idea, because you're basically limiting yourself a little bit on what you're going to be bringing and kind of who counters you and things like that. So the first pair that you could do, just because it's a really good, I think their synergies really well, it's going to be a Monitor primary. She has to be expertise with Artemisia. Be best if she's expertise as well, but you don't have to expertise Artemisia, but you do need to expertise a Monitor, because a Monitor is going to give you the immune to silence, and that makes their rage gen a lot better. Artemisia only needs to be 5-5-1-5, but her expertise gives you extra damage, which is helpful, and it's really nice. Their synergies really well for Garrison especially, but if you do it in open field, it's going to be a lot better because you're going to counter the Guan Yus and things like that in the open field, and you're going to do a lot of damage to any infantry in the field. The next march you could do, the one that I highly like, is Nebu and YSG. Recommended they're both expertise, especially Esong. Nebu, minimal investment would be like 5-5, probably 5-1, something like that, because the last skill is mostly just extra damage, and his expertise is kind of a similar thing. But I would recommend you max them both for the most upfront AoE combination that you can do for utility reasons, and they're really, really good. They got some defense, and AoE is just out of this world. It's really, really good. A lot of damage that they can do up front to a lot of different targets. The last one is going to be Ramses primary with Tamaris. The main reason for that is Ramses doesn't have a super fast skill cycle, which is not too bad, because Tamaris needs a slow skill cycle, and bringing Edward in this day and age is not going to be cutting it, because you're going to melt, and the skill damage that he takes reduced and stuff like that Ramses has is going to protect Tamaris, give you those debuffs that you need on the target, and it's a really good utility march that I think would really work really well. It's something I may work on in the future. I'm not 100% unsure if I'm going to do that, but we'll see, because right now I do a little bit of a different combination that I'm working on right now, or working with right now. What I use is Art and Tom and Nebu Esong, because I don't have a Monitor. Those are other options you can do. So like I said, the other option you can do, if you don't have some of these marches or you don't like them as well, or whatever your reasons, you can do Artemisia 5-5-1-5. Recommend you expertise her, but you don't have to. Tamaris 5-1-5-5. Same for the other pair, Ram and Tom, 5-1-5-5 for Tamaris. You can expertise her if you have all the sculptures you want, kind of thing, which you don't really have to. But the last skill you definitely want to be 5, because it's a 100% chance to gain a stack over time. Then after you do Art and Tom, you do Ramses primary with Nebuchadnezzar. It's another known rally pair, but they're good in the open field also together, because Ramses is going to protect your Nebu. Nebu is going to AoE everybody, and Ramses is going to debuff and tank for you. Another good march, so that you can basically split your Esong away from your Nebu and Ramses. If you want to do Ramses Esong, you can, but it's just if you want to pair some other marches with them, that's another option you can do, is Ramses and Esong. That one is really, really good. I don't have Ramses, but I know it's highly recommended that you do that. So if you don't have some of these other marches, like if you don't have Artemisia and you have Ramses Esong is really, really good too. Another pair that's new, it's pretty similar to Ramses, is going to be Gilga. But the ones I was going with the Art Tom Ram Nebu. If you need another pair for your YSG, Gilgamesh is the next option after that. Gives you a health debuff on the target, and he's going to give damage to Richards and anything that heals in the open field. Another known good rally pair that'd be another option if you have a Ramses and you have, Art and Tom and Nebu, and you're working on something else, and you have E-Song expertise, then you can work on Gilgas, so you can pair your YSG with that, and pair your Ram Nebu together and your Art and Tommy together. So those would be the marches that I would recommend you use. Like I said, if you had Ramses, use them with YSG if you want. That's probably the single best pair, other than Nebu E-Song, because that one's really good too. More AoE on that one, but squishier, obviously. Kind of depends on your preference, but like I said, my favorites are Art and Tommy right now, and Nebu and E-Song, because they do a lot of utility and a lot of AoE. So those are the marches I would recommend for archers for me right now. So if you guys found this helpful with what archer pairs you think you're wanting to work on, things like that, drop a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.